it's time to leave the capsule if you dare. This is Major Tom to ground control. This is Major Tom to ground control. I've left forevermore.
Music and space history. This is Commander Chris Hadfield's cover version of David Bowie's Space Oddity with some changes to the lyrics. You heard Bowie's original version first. Hadfield recorded this 2.5 years ago while aboard the International Space Station. It was the first music video performed and recorded in space. And Commander Chris Hadfield joins me now on the phone from Erie, Pennsylvania. But first, I will read to you Commander Hadfield's tweet today upon learning of the news of the death of David Bowie. Ashes to ashes, dust to stardust. Your brilliance inspired us all. Goodbye, Starman. Commander Hadfield, the stars look very different today.
Yeah, Carol, they do. When I woke up, that was the first thing I read, was that he'd passed away after a battle with cancer. And I mean, I just over the holidays, I was looking at the new album he just released. There's a song in it called Lazarus that is just fascinating. And I was looking back to the duet he did back so long ago with Bing Crosby, the very unique version of Little Drummer Boy that the two of them had done. So just over the last couple of weeks, I've been thinking about him and watching his creativity. So it came as a double shock to hear that he died.
Yeah, and it seemed everybody's looking at Lazarus, they're looking at Black Star today thinking this is a man. It feels like when you listen and watch those videos, it feels like a man who, as I put it earlier, was being reinvented by the fact that he knew he was going to die soon.
Yeah, I agree. It's very introspective and very original, like so much of his music. And it's almost as if sometimes he made the music just as his best expression of what was going through his life at the time, not necessarily to entertain or sell, but just it was what was important to him. And of course, at this stage of life, trying to explain that to himself, trying to express it properly and artistically, and as uniquely as he always did. Yep. And Lazarus, I watched it a couple times. It's just mesmerizing, and now doubly sad.
Yeah, we're seeing some of that video now on screen, Lazarus. As you studied the lyrics of Space Oddity, I mean, what was it about that song that compelled you to choose it? Was it just the fact that it fit so perfectly your circumstances, or was there something else about it that spoke to you as well?
It was actually a response to a request from all around the world. I'd recorded a song from station, and when people heard that I was playing music up there, there was just a request from all through the internet to do a cover of that song. And it just seems sort of audacious. I mean, to try and cover Bowie is just, especially for just a regular musician like myself, it just seemed crazy. But I worked with my son, who was convincing me, and Evan changed the words to make it a little more up to date and slightly more optimistic ending, so the astronaut lives at the end. But watching the response to that audio recording we made, but also the video and how it came out, it's been wonderful to see with so many tens of millions of people around the world that maybe hadn't even heard that song before, and to have seen it through a new set of eyes. And to have been a part of that, especially today, is a real delight for me.
And the fact that David Bowie watched your version and said this about it: it is possibly the most poignant version of the song ever created. What did that mean to you?
That flabbergasted me. I mean, to have seen his exhibit, the summary of his life in the museum there in Toronto, and then to see the depth and breadth of creativity, and then to have him say that and actually take delight in it. And today I was actually picturing him smiling about me having made that, and the fact that maybe I brought some laughter and joy and reflection into his life as well. It's warming for me today.
One more thing, and maybe it's a question you can't answer, but I noticed in Black Star, the new album, and the title track from Black Star, one of the scenes is, of course, a spacesuit, an old-fashioned astronaut spacesuit, the kind one might see in the 60s, laying there with the jeweled skeleton inside. What do you think space meant to him? Or was it space for space's sake, or was it a metaphor for something?
I think it was always both. I think he always recognized how self-important we think we are and the enormity of everything that lies beyond, and the juxtaposition between the two. And in '68, when he wrote Space Oddity, what it was going to be like to be out beyond the Earth and looking back at it, putting the Earth in its true perspective, but also the enormous opportunity and the depths of our own ignorance of the rest of the universe. I think he saw all of that, and it put his own life and all of us into the real perspective that astronauts see. And so I think maybe there's a little of that, even right through the Black Star at the end. He was fascinated with a lot of different things over his life. Space was a recurring theme, and I think it's just because of the endless vastness of opportunity.
Commander Chris Hadfield, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Nice to talk with you, Carl.